Hi guys, so today I thought I'd do some gardening. It's springtime, so I wanted to top off the soil in my potted plants. I know, don't come at me, hear me out. I know potted soil is better for potted plants instead of topsoil, but they already have potted soil in them, most of them. So I'm just basically putting topsoil on the top of the potted soil so it gets a good mixture of both of the soils. And this is one of my aloe plants. This one I've had for about 3, maybe 4 years now. I can't remember at this point, but I remember it was so tiny, as most of my plants started out really, really tiny. And now this aloe plant is huge. He is in a pretty decent sized pot, but I probably need to move him to a larger pot as well. That way I can center him in the pot, because as you can see, this one is growing towards one side of the pot, and I did gently move the plant just a little bit so that it's angled into the opposite direction, hoping now it'll grow in that direction. But I think once I change the pot, and I do have this really, really huge pot that I'm gonna need to buy some potting soil, lots of it, to fill it up. But I think I will probably put my aloe plant into this really huge pot, because aloe plants usually sprout off smaller aloe plants. So I'm just thinking, if I put it in a huge pot, then I'll get more aloe plants than just this one. But yeah. Okay, and next is one of my baby fiddly fig tree plants that I've had for almost a year now. It's been about 10 months. He's still in his original pot, so I'm going to transfer him over to this larger pot, which will give it the opportunity to grow much, much bigger and produce bigger leaves. This is another one. Excuse me. Pollen outside. This is another one. You can see the roots are actually growing through the bottom of this pot, so I'm going to transfer him over into the larger pot as well. That way he can grow to be much larger, like this one here. This one was transferred over a couple of times. You can see there's a little bit of damage on a couple of the leaves, but I'm not going to touch them or cut them or anything like that. That might have been just from the winter. Because they do better in 50 degrees temperature or higher. Okay, so I've got a couple of them done already. This one I've already transferred over to the larger pot, and I added some topsoil to the potted soil, and I did the same with this one here. So you can see the leaves are kind of tiny on these two fiddly fig trees, but it's because they were in such tiny pots for about 10 months. Now that they're in larger pots, they will start to grow bigger leaves and be healthier. And so this is another one of my tiny fiddly fig tree plants that I bought, like I said, about a year, maybe 10 months ago, but I'm putting him also in a larger pot. And this is the before and after, the tiny pot, and now the much bigger pot. So he will get big like this one here. Okay, so this one is my agave plant that was given to me almost a year ago. So I gave him just a little bit of topsoil. I need to switch his pot out also. And then you can see all of the plants I've gone through and just put a little bit of topsoil on in them. Like I said, they have a lot of potting soil, so it's okay to add a little bit of topsoil. These are my money tree plants. This one here is probably 6 feet tall now. Out of control. This plant was maybe not even 2 feet when I first got it, maybe 3 years ago, and now it's out of control. I just want to show you how the baby fiddly fig tree plants that were in the small, super small pots, how tiny their leaves are. Look at how tiny the leaves are. Now look at this one. This fiddly fig tree is in a big pot, and look at how huge the leaves are in comparison to this one. So it just goes to show that when you do put plants and keep them in really, really small pots, then it does kind of stunt their growth, so to speak. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to repot most of my plants into larger pots. So hopefully the remaining leaves that grow on this fiddly fig tree will be big leaves like this one here. Like, these are huge and they're so big they almost look like fans. Yeah, so this is another one in its original pot, a little baby fiddly fig tree. It was in its original pot almost a year now, and it's probably the same size it was when I first got it, but now we're gonna put it over into this larger white pot here and watch it grow. And so now it even looks better in the bigger pot. Same plant, but it just looks nicer now that he's got space to go out and up. So I'm very excited about that. I wasn't able to repot all of my plants, so I will need to buy some more pots. Yeah, so I guess I will head over to Lowe's and pick up some other pots. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and follow. Happy planting!